much like I did the guy that I jumped on in the town, just right on the face with the staff.
Okay.
But before I do that, I just kind of want to like tap him a little bit to wake him up. And then when he opens his eyes, just go, shh.
You got him. How the hell did you manage that?
They wouldn't have managed it at all if they hadn't snuck up on me. I don't know what Pace's voice sound like. That's what.
We are under the assumption that you sound exactly like him. It's perfect. Imagination.
I'm just going to give her like a shake, like a shake that. What's his name again?
Dill.
I'm sorry. What was it?
Voodoo.
Voodoo. Okay, that he can see, and yes, we did have to use the element of surprise, but as you can expect in a town that big, and with his resistance, it drew some attention, enough to attract the attention of the gods and causing us to lose my fellow comrades.
And he kind of looks around and he goes, "What? There was
3 others.
7, 6, 3. Yeah, 3. That was it."
He said 3, dumbass.
And he kind of just like snaps a look over to you and he goes, "You couldn't have gagged him. That would have been much better."
It wasn't important at the time.
And he kind of shakes his head a little bit. He's like, well, what do you want, I guess? I wasn't expecting you to make it back, to be perfectly honest."
Well, with tasking us with such a job, the loss of my compatriots, what do you have?
That's a pretty broad question, don't you think?
Broad, but an easy one.
Well, we've got some weapons and we've got some trinkets and some things. I suppose you could take a look at that and see what you're interested in.
Do I notice the caravan that Orlo previously was interested in? I believe it was like covered.
So there are 3 caravans here, and they're all covered caravans.
Okay.
So you're not sure if one of them is the exact same one, but you can presume that probably one of them is, yes.
Okay. Well, I shall peruse what is available, but until the exchange is official, I would trust that Pace remains untouched.
I suppose that's agreeable. Well, let's here, I'll make you a deal. And you see him kind of take a few steps back, and he reaches into like one of the caravans and he pulls out this like big spear and he just jams it into the ground pretty aggressively. And you can tie him up there. He shouldn't be able to get anywhere.
Very well. And I'm going to bring Pace over to the spear.
And I'll pretend to be struggling, trying to make it look believable, but without causing Flo too much trouble.
So as you're kind of getting all of this situated, Orlo and Elladan, you guys are kind of like sneaking your way up a little bit into the like upper. There's some like underbrush, like some like dead like foliage and stuff like that you guys can kind of like put yourself behind to kind of keep yourself pretty well hidden.
How many people do we see?
So 6 plus Zudil.
Okay. And like how are they positioned right now?
So right
like,
now,
are they all distracted by this, or
most of them are kind of just like looking over occasionally, but they're kind of all just like, it looks like they're all just hanging out, like resting up against the caravan wheels and things like that for the most part. None of them are really engaged at all.
I was gonna say is if they're trying to see if there was a way that I could get up behind Zoodle at some point. So that's kind of the opportunity that I'm waiting for at this point.
That's going to be a little difficult, but you can try to make your way like the whole way around, like around the caravans, but it's probably going to take a little bit.
I mean, that's just what I'm looking for, but so I'm just gonna hold tight.
Gotcha.
And see what happens.
All right, I'm gonna do the same for now.
Check.
Okay.
So, Laya, you are currently tied up to a spear,
Darn.
which did you? How well did you tie that all up, Flo? Is she kind
I
of
was
just
going
like
to say it's the tie of the knot is made to look as though she's secured, but I loosened my original tie on her wrist so she can like slip out at any moment. As long as she just like keeps her wrist a little bit apart and keeps it taut, then it should look okay. Got you.
okay? So then, Zoodle is going to go ahead and kind of like walk you over to the middle caravan. Flo. I'll move the tokens just so you can see. But and he's kind of gonna like fling back the covering on the back of the wagon. And it's kind of just a jumble of shit in here. Like there's a lot of like random like weapons and just junk, and like it looks like what it looks like is that these people kind of sit where they do, and as people approach the city, like trying to like get themselves moved into here or like make themselves safe, they just like take whatever shit makes them happy. So like it's an assortment of garbage for the most part, but he's very proud of it. Like you could see that he's smiling and kind of like all like happy about it. He's like, so what can I interest you in?
And just taking it all in and looking over it, picks up a weapon and looks it over. Are all the caravans like this?
Pretty much, yeah.
And from where I am, like, is everybody really just paying attention to Flo and this exchange that's happening?
Nobody's really paying attention to anybody. Like Zoodle's interacting with Flo, so he's clearly got his attention on him. But like the other people, some of them are drinking, some of them are just like, some of them are asleep. They're just all chilling. Like none of them are really particularly interested with your presence in any way.
Okay,
And-
so nobody's looking at me.
No.
Then what I would like to do is like kind of look back behind me and see if I can see Orlo and Elladan.
Do you guys are kind of watching this all kind of
Yeah.
unfold?
Yeah.
You see her turn around. Do you make any kind of motion or attempt to make her note, like to see that she can notice you?
So I want to, I want to cast, when we make our approach, I want to cast Pass Without Trace on me and Elladan, so nobody would be able to hear us approaching.
Okay.
If they can't hear us, would they notice us? Like, are they still looking that direction, or?
So you don't have
Are
to
they, like,
cast
half
Pass Without
asleep?
Trace. You with the stealth rolls that you guys have, you're pretty
Oh, okay.
pretty good.
Because I want to just kind of approach, and before Laya is able to change back into herself and start causing damage, I want to be closer, so we're not like rushing from far away.
There's pretty much no cover in between where you and like between you and Laya other than where you are. So if you start moving forward, if anybody looks in that direction, they're going to see you.
Can someone cast minor illusion to cause them to get their direction turned the other way?
That's, there's definitely some options as far as, causing distractions, but in terms of what you're looking at, just trying to move forward, that's where you're at.
I mean, we could do that. Is there anything like, can we cause like an avalanche, or like, is there like anything like that we could cause to happen maybe behind where they're at to cause their direction to be pulled that way?
I
So
was gonna see if they drink. I was gonna try to get them to drink more.
So when I look back to see if I can see them, do they? Sorry, Orlo. I don't know if you answered this already. If you did, I missed it. But do either of you guys do anything to like
So
let me
that
know that I'm there or that you guys are there?
yeah, I mean, that's, yeah. So I definitely want you to know that we're there, but I also don't necessarily want anything to pop off yet.
Yeah, you could very easily make yourself known.
Can I cast minor illusion to like whisper into someone's ear?
I mean, I was gonna even say just make like a monster noise or something, or just something behind them to.
You guys, I mean, like I said, if you want to make yourself known to Laya, you very easily can do that without being, making yourself visible to everyone.
Yeah, I mean, we'll just kind of like wave and.
Yeah, because so this is the way that I think about it is this: like, she's looking for you. She knows that you guys are there. Nobody else is particularly looking for you to be there. So like, you could very easily just make some kind of minor like gestures and like for her to see you. So it would be very understandable for you to do that.
So once they make it like wave or whatever it is that they're doing to get my attention, I'll move my hand like just enough. I'll make sure nobody is looking first, and assuming nobody is looking at me, I'll like move my hand that they are more likely to see, so that they can tell that the knot is that I'm able to pull out of the knot.
Okay. I just kind of give a thumbs up. Basically.
Okay. So Laya, you know that they are both there. Were you going to do anything else at this juncture?
So I'd like to ready a spell if I could. It's just the thunderclap cantrip.
Okay.
Just if I notice, like, I'm trying to let Flo do what Flo's gonna do and see how he handles it, but also if we need some sort of distraction, I want to be ready to cast thunderclap and like get their attention, like have it be casted behind.
Or I want to be ready to clap.
Yeah, I guess in front of them so that they don't look back at, or they're less likely at least to look back at Orlo and Elladan and myself.
Okay. So you can cast it. It's a 5-foot range, so you can cast it 5 feet from you.
Oh shoot, that's only 5 feet. Never mind.
Yeah. It's a very loud noise, though.
It's a loud clap.
It is. So while you guys are, did you want to do anything, Elladan? I know you started talking about minor illusion. Do you have?
Well, are we, as far as like Orlo, as far as what we're doing, are we gonna go in, or like what's the plan at this point as far as the strategy?
So
how are you feeling?
I mean, if they're gonna be distracted that direction, then we could go in I'm planning on going in as soon as they're distracted.
Okay. Let me see how far my spell reaches. 30. How far am I away from Laya?
From Laya, you are 35 feet.
Yeah, can't really cast an illusion then to get their attention. Do you have any ideas, Orlo, for a distraction?
Isn't Laya going to cast Thunderclap? Is that gonna pull their distraction or pull their attention?
It'll pull their attention towards us if that's what you want.
Yeah. One, you wouldn't know that, and two,
True.
and two, we we learned that the radius for the distance for that spell isn't actually enough to do anything.
Got you.
Yeah, and I'm
Or at least
too
nothing
far
helpful.
away. Can I move? Like, can I move over more to the right?
Sure. Like up or down?
Up and then like a little bit to the left, like that little green patchy thing.
Like the one that's above you guys?
Yeah, that thing.
Like there?
Yeah, perfect. All right. And then from like there, like
You're still 35 feet away from her, just for reference.
that's fine. But then like cast the thing. Can I mark on this?
Yeah, you should be able to.
Where's the pen? Draw a laser trail. Oh God, what do you guys see this?
Yeah.
All right, so like cast it like here, like off to the side.
How far can you cast it?
For my minor illusion, it says 35 feet.
35 feet?
Or no, it says 30.
Okay, so 30 feet is like right here, just so you know.
There? That works.
Just as a frame of reference.
Cool. I'm gonna make like a big like monster, like growl, like something that's like scary as shit that they don't want to see.
Let me just. So then, so you can create a sound or an image of an object. So do you want to make the sound, or do you want to make it look like the creature?
You know what? Make it look like it.
Okay.
Yeah, just like have it like go over the. Can I do both? Is that possible?
It's both? For the spell specifically, it's one or the other, but you can cast it twice. It's just going to take some time. So like if you want to cast it and make it look like it's there and then make it sound like it's there.
Can I cast the sound first and then cast it like walking up?
For sure. Yeah, absolutely.
All right, cool. That's what I'm going to do then.
Okay. Then I will go ahead and so that means that out of the 6 people that are there, all of them will notice it. Well, out of the 6 people there, one of them is asleep, so 5 of them will notice it. But being that Zudil is in conversation with Flo, he is not going to notice it.
All right.
So while all this is going on, Flo, go ahead and tell me what you guys are doing over here.
Well, I'm going to say to Zudil, for as eager as you all were to get into the city to retrieve Pace, your group looks less than enthused that he's now captured.
It was kind of a personal goal more than anything else, honestly.
Shouldn't you be more celebratory?
I technically don't have him yet, do I?
Fair point. May I see another caravan?
Yeah, sure. And he kind of there's the guy to your left over here. He kind of just like throws out of the way. He kind of like walks over to the back of it, and flings open another one of the backs of this caravan. And I mean, again, by and large, a lot of this stuff it's especially, I mean, at least to you, there's a few weapons and things like that. Is there anything in particular you're looking for, I guess, is a good question.
Honestly, I wouldn't begin to know. In this world, Float, I don't really have much use for any other weapons, and he
I mean, is
doesn't
there
really have an
anything that
eye.
Flo kind of like has like an affinity for, like trinkets or baubles or anything like that like he would like that might catch his eye in particular?
If there's like a mask that would be native to a certain area of this world, then maybe that would catch his eye.
So, you know, because as you kind of like, he kind of like starts digging through some of the stuff, and like a lot of it, like I said, is just it looks like trash for the most part, like stuff that he's stolen from, you know, caravans, like pots and pans and um some weapons and some like any types of like anything that looks valuable to him at the time is what a lot of this is.
Mm.
So like maybe there's some like small pieces of like art, like not like pictures or anything, but like statues or things of that nature. But again, you know, as far as you can tell, like a lot of this stuff has, especially to you, no value for the most part.
Okay. In that case, just because of my positioning, I'm going to reach into the caravan and take a weapon.
Okay.
But I'm going to move in this direction.
Like to the left over here.
Yeah, to the left of him over here.
Okay.
And just pretend like I am just pretend like I'm testing the weapon, you know, hitting it against my own scimitar and short sword that I have on my hip, just seeing its durability and whatnot. It's basically just when we converse, so he's looking towards me.
Gotcha. That makes sense.
Yeah.
Okay. And then actually go ahead and give me real quick a perception check there, Flo.
Perception check. Got you. Perception. 5.
Okay, so you would not have noticed the sound of this kind of creature that Elladan was producing, so you wouldn't even have noticed it at all.
No.
So while all this is going on, you now have Zudil is looking over towards Flo. Elladan, you are creating a distraction up on the hill over here, so you have a couple of the guys looking up over there.
I have a question.
Go ahead. What's the question?
Do I notice the monster?
Give me a perception check, if you will.
While this is all going on, can I start sneaking towards the south?
Yeah, sure, absolutely.
I got a nat 20.
Then you absolutely do notice the noise. And you also know that when you hear it, that it is a creature that is undoubtedly native to your world. And you're not sure if it is here, but you know this creature for sure. So you can probably assume that it is not actually a creature, if that makes sense.
Okay, so I'll look behind me and see if Orlo has started moving yet and if he's still under cover.
He has started moving and he is still undercover though.
Okay, if he is still undercover, then I'm going to be like, guys, and just like kind of try to point towards the monster.
Okay. And for those who are paying attention, everyone other than Zoodle and the guy in the bottom who is asleep, they all kind of like start to kind of like move in that direction a little bit. And just for reference, this big thing in the middle that's kind of like multicolored is a fire. I don't know if I said that. But
is the dude in the corner the one that's asleep then?
Yeah, the one that didn't move, yes.
Am I able to approach that guy, like while they're all distracted looking at that monster?
Go ahead and give me another stealth check if you're going to try to move in towards him. Yes.
15.
Okay. Yeah. Then you can definitely go ahead and start creeping your way.
You want to move
Moving.
me?
What's that?
Do you want to move it? Just
Yeah,
I don't know
I'll
how
move
far
you.
you want me to go.
So you can go up to. What's your movement speed? 40 feet, right?
Yeah.
So you can go up to that right now with no problem. So then I guess let's do this real quick. So let's go ahead and I'm presuming you guys are going to kick the shit out of these people. Yes, that's the plan.
Oh, yes.
So so let's go ahead and roll for initiative then, if you will.
All right.
11.
I rolled 22.
10.
Sorry, my mic was muted. 15.
You're good, bud. So then I will go ahead and from now on we'll start moving in and through initiative order of this, which is as follows: Elladan, Flo, Laya, Orlo. So Elladan, go ahead and tell me what it is you're going to go ahead and do next. You can tell that the people are starting to kind of react to the sounds and the picture of this creature that you're projecting, but there's still pretty much all of them are about 30 to 40 feet away.
All right. I'm going to have the creatures start like slowly like walking towards them, kind of doing like a snarl face.
Okay, cool. So that creature, do you have like 5 feet every, or like 5-10 feet? Like how far do you want it to be moving? Just out of curiosity, just so I can kind of.
Maybe like 10 to 15 feet.
Okay, cool. So then that will move it from there to, we'll say like here. And then Flo, you and Zul'Din are kind of interacting over this kind of sword, and he looks at you and he's like, "So, what do you think of that? Is that good for you? Are you liking that one?"
It's adequate, but I'm still not sure. I plan to do some traveling after this, and for all the trouble I went through, I want to make sure that I'm getting my efforts worth.
Oh, totally understandable. Yeah, absolutely. What else can I do to kind of make sure that this is worth your time?
You obviously know your merchandise best. Would you happen to have or be able to search for anything that resembles some sort of mask in there? I don't want to head inside and ruin whatever means of organization you have going.
And he's like, you see him kind of pause and think for a moment. He's like, mask. He's like, I think I know exactly what you mean. And you see him kind of like step up into one of the caravan that you were just in, specifically. And you see him kind of step up into it, and you hear him kind of running around inside of it a little bit. Laya, what would you like to be doing right now? Is there anything else you want to do? You can see that people's attention has kind of started turning towards this creature. You can see that Orlo is sneaking across now behind them, like towards the sleeping guy. And you saw that Zul'Din just kind of jumped up into the caravan. Zudil, sorry.
So it looks like a couple of the guys are still like at a point where even though they're looking at the monster, they're still like they would still be able to see me. So for the most part, yeah, I'm just gonna keep staying where I am.
Okay.
And pretending to be tied up.
Because you probably have about 5 feet of rope, I would presume. So you could move anywhere within 5 feet of this bar if it's something that you want to do. if you want to try to get yourself into a better place as well.
Yeah. So I'll move backwards, like probably about where you moved me, just to make it look like I'm like trying to move away from the monster.
Okay. Did you still want to try to cast Thunderclap?
No, I don't think so. Nobody's within 5 feet of me, so I don't think it would matter that much.
Right, but I'm just saying, like, if you wanted to, like, kind of hold it until there was somebody within 5 feet of you, because I'm presumptuously they're going to move at some point. So I just was curious if you were still interested in doing that.
No, I don't
Great.
think so.
Okay. Then Orlo, are you going to keep trying to move towards this guy?
Yeah, I'm gonna keep sneaking towards him.
Okay, then you can get to him without a question.
Okay.
During this round.
I want to I'm close to him. I want to cast silence around us.
Okay.
Do I need to roll or anything? What do you need?
No. So silence is a
just goes.
Yeah. So it you can do one of two things. You can cast it, which takes an action and the spell slot, or you can cast it as a ritual, which takes up to 10 minutes to do. So
yeah, I just wanted to.
Yeah, so you can just. Cool. So that uses a second level spell slot. You immediately cast silence, and you are in a. What is it? It's a pretty big bubble, isn't it? 20-foot radius. Yeah.
And then I do want to, while I'm in this bubble of silence.
Just for reference, encompasses everything up to the bonfire, including Flo, Zudil, and 2 of the guards. Right. Or 2 of the bandits.
Right.
Just so you're aware.
So what I want to do is I do want to attack this guy. I'm going to attack him much like I did the guy that I jumped on in the town, just right on the face with the staff.
Okay.
But before I do that, I just kind of want to like tap him a little bit to wake him up. And then when he opens his eyes, just go shh, and then smash him.
Okay. So go ahead and roll the attack with advantage because he is a prone target.
Not that one. The first one was a 6. And then the second one was 11.
Okay. So that will actually hit.
Okay.
Because you can see he's not wearing any armor or anything. Like, you can see that it's kind of just like sitting next to him. He's kind of just like curled up. He's sleeping.
Okay.
So you hit him.
Okay.
So go ahead and then roll damage.
7 damage.
Okay.
Big bonk.
Big bonk. So you you poke him a little bit. The dude wakes up, and you can kind of like he just like see him like rub his eyes, and he like looks up, like and kind of like immediately gets startled because he sees this massive elephant standing over him, and you go shh, and he's like. And he kind of like starts to put his hands up, and you just crack him right in the face. You can see kind of like blood start running out of his nose immediately, and he just grabs his face. He's like, "God!" But like no noise because you're in a silence bubble.
All right. Yeah, that's all I need to do for my turn.
Okay. So then, Elladan, you are up, and you can see from where you are that you saw Orlo just kind of club this dude in the face.
All right. Laya is still tied up, right?
Tied up with quotes around it, yes.
Okay. So if I just attack, then it'll be all right. Like, she'll be able to get out.
Yeah, I mean she's reasonably safe from your belief.
Do I just do it? Do I just bonk straight in? I feel like I should.
And Flo, just so you know, from where you are standing, you can now see Laya.
Okay.
All right. Yeah, I'm gonna open it up. I'm gonna attack someone.
Okay, go for it.
I'm gonna attack. Let me see. Who can I see from here? I'm gonna attack this person right here.
Number 1. We will label him
Yeah.
number 1.
Numero uno, and I'm gonna do Eldritch Blast.
Okay. So go ahead and make an attack roll.
Well, I did hit first. That's 19.
Well, yeah, so that's right. That does hit.
For damage, I got 12.
So you said you cast Eldritch Blast, and
Yeah.
you kind of like coalesce this little bit of energy. You shoot it out of your hands, and you see it just kind of streak across, and you see it kind of cross over the path of where that creature is. And the dude is like very invariably startled because he sees this like bolt of energy coming at him, and he like thinks it's the monster and he's super confused by it, and it kind of catches him in the chest, and it kind of knocks him off kilter, and he's not looking very good. It looks like it hit him real hard, kind of very like his armor's kind of like burnt up, and like you can it doesn't look good.
Dope. All right, that's what I'm doing for my turn. Then I should be good.
Cool. Next up is Zudil, and he is still in the caravan, kind of running around, and you obviously can't hear where he is now. So either Orlo, you would have heard him when you were sneaking up, and Flo, you obviously would have heard him as he was kind of running around and things.
Mm-hmm.
So neither one of you can hear him anymore. But for the time being, nothing happens.
Okay.
So Flo, you are up next.
Very delicate operation. I'd like to move back towards the other side of the caravan.
So like here?
Yeah. And I'm just gonna be swinging whatever weapon it is that I had just as I take a peek into the caravan as I walk across.
We'll just say that we'll just use a regular sword for the sake of argument.
Okay.
Just to make it easy. So are you going to try to jump onto one of these guys, or are you just going to kind of just move position and hold for the time being?
I wanted to move across and take a look into the caravan. It was just not make it obvious.
Yeah, so as you walk past, you very much can see that he's still kind of just in there rooting around and doesn't even notice that there's not it just doesn't even occur to him that there stops being noise. He's just still rooting through some of the stuff.
Okay. I'm gonna move towards 5.
Okay.
And I am going from behind with both hands, hit him with a a pushing attack.
Okay, cool.
And I'm gonna try to push them towards Laya.
Okay. So go ahead and roll to hit.
Oh God, thank you. Thank you for missing the one. Bless. 19.
A 19?
Yeah.
That absolutely hits.
Okay.
So you can push up to what? Is it 10 feet?
15.
15. So you could literally push him directly into Laya if you wanted.
Okay. Does it still take? It still takes damage from that as well, right?
Yes. Also, he takes damage.
Okay.
I was just curious with the distance, just to measure it first.
Okay. Okay. He does have to make a strength saving throw of 14. Wait.
He fails miserably. So don't worry about that.
Okay. Let's see. Here we go. So that's 9 damage.
Okay. So he takes 9 damage, and then are you going to just push him the whole way into Laya?
Yes.
Okay. So then he will get pushed. So he basically lands directly, like he stumbles forward. You hit him in the back and just like shove him forward, and Laya, he's literally standing directly on top of you now for the most part.
And I go back to swinging my sword. I didn't do nothing.
I didn't do nothing. And Laya, you are up.
So within a 15-foot radius of me is just number 5, correct?
Yes.
Okay. So I'm gonna cast Thunder Wave,
Okay.
and so I'll just so what that looks like for Laya is I'll like push both of my hands out towards this guy and just blow blow at him.
Okay. And then he needs to make a Constitution saving throw. So he rolls a 10. That's lower than your spell save, right? I think it's
Yeah. My spell save DC is 12.
okay, great. So yeah, he fails. So go ahead and roll damage.
8.
8. So you you go ahead and you kind of coalesce this wave of thunderous force. You kind of look at him and you go, and the dude just you see it kind of hit his body, and you can see the shock wave of it kind of ripple through him. He just passes out, just out cold.
Okay.
Orlo, you're up.
So is this guy still alive in front of me?
Yes, he is still alive.
Conscious? Is he distracted then by his face bleeding?
I mean, he's definitely still currently prone and not feeling super happy about it.
Do it again, Sam. Bonk him.
Do it again.
I'll fucking do it again.
Here. So at this point, I think I'm just going to stand up and unarmed strike with my foot and just step on his nads.
Oh God.
Okay.
Okay.
So go ahead and make it an attack with advantage.
The 21.
You definitely hit with a 21.
Okay. See how little damage I do. 4 damage.
Okay. So you just stand up and you just stomp on his nads.
Yep.
You are also with your melee attacks, you can make an offhanded attack as well, and if you want to do that again, you can. As a bonus action.
I mean, if he's still conscious and breathing.
Currently, yes.
I think I need to do it again.
Have at it.
Something about elephants and nuts.
So, do I roll both of my hit again?
Yeah,
Okay.
To hit with advantage, please.
First one was 11, second one was 18.
Hit.
Okay. 5.
Okay. So
and I'm just just go back to sleep. I just mouth it since we're still in
right. So you kind of you stomp, and then he's he kind of crunches forward, and you just do it again, and you just as soon as you do it the second time, he just just passes right out.
Nice.
Do you want to move?
Yeah.
Okay.
So I will move. Is 4 facing Flo?
4 is facing the creature, so he's actually his back is to you.
Okay, so I just want to move up next to Flo at this point.
Check.
And then just kind of tap him on the shoulder when I show up and just give him a thumbs up.
Thumbs up back.
At any point, you also, just so you know, you can cancel the effects of silence on your own if you wish.
Okay. I'm going to use it to our advantage until.
Nope, absolutely. So this guy, so it is the bandit's turn. So these guys are going to kind of, this guy's going to move forward a little bit. This guy's going to move back here, and this guy's going to move forward. This guy is going to turn around and see both of you standing behind him, and is actually going to back himself up a little bit towards this fire, and draw his bow. So, 1 and 3 are going to move towards this creature, and they're going to, I'm going to have them make checks to see if they realize that this is a illusion. One of them does. The other one takes a swing at it. Number 2 is going to, like I said, he's going to back up to the caravan. And number 4 is going to make an attack on you, Flo. No, that doesn't. So you see him kind of knock an arrow, and he draws it back and just lets it fly, and it kind of just like sails very wide over your shoulder. And you see him kind of back up a little bit more after he does. And number 2, you saw him kind of back up over towards the caravan, and Elladan and Laya, I think you can also see him. But you see him reach up and grab the tarp on the caravan. He kind of like yanks really hard. And you see the kind of tarp pull off to the side, and sitting on the back of this caravan, there's another guy inside of it, and there's also this kind of big, what can best be described as like a big rifle, just kind of like mounted in the back of this caravan.